Enola and Sherlock are back with another thrilling case. Let's recap everything from Enola Holmes 2. The story continues after Enola solves her first case. She opens her own detective agency, determined to become one of the world's greatest detectives. But despite her talent, everyone dismisses her as just Sherlock Holmes' little sister, believing he solved her first case. Later, Viscount Tewkesbury invites her to a grand ball. However, Enola refuses, wanting to prove herself on her own first. Despite her efforts, she receives no new cases and is close to closing her agency. At that moment, a young girl named Bess arrives and asks Enola to find her missing sister. Enola accepts the case. She visits the girl's home, which turns out to be a small, crowded room shared by many girls. The missing sister is named Sarah. Bess describes Sarah's red hair and appearance. Another girl, May, arrives and clearly dislikes Enola. While investigating Sarah's belongings, Enola finds books and plants. She learns Sarah worked 2 jobs, in a matchbox factory and in a restaurant. Enola decides to take the case, and Bess is very happy. The next day, Enola and Bess go to the matchbox factory. All the girls are inspected, and a guard warns that typhus is spreading. The matches are made with phosphorus, and Bess shows Enola how the work is done. Enola notices an office upstairs. To distract the guard, she drops a box and sneaks upstairs. Inside the office, she finds a matchbox with red matches and discovers important documents in a drawer. Many pages are missing from the registers, and she also finds a red hair, leading her to believe Sarah stole something. Nearby, the factory owner Henry, his son William, partner Lord McIntyre, and secretary Mira are arguing about money theft in the factory. After they leave, Enola notices McIntyre angrily confronting Mira. Meanwhile, May observes Enola. Bess later reveals that May helped Sarah during a theft in the upstairs office. That night, Enola follows May to a dance club called Paragon, where she sees May performing among wealthy guests. Backstage, Enola meets May and realizes Sarah's second job was not at a restaurant, but at this dance club. May refuses to give answers. Her boss arrives and orders her back on stage. He then shows Enola Sarah's space and explains that Sarah once found a letter and was often meeting a wealthy young man there. Enola later reads the letter and finds it contains a poem. She is unsure whether Sarah ran away with the boy or if something happened to her. Enola later finds a drunken Sherlock. She takes him to his home, which is in poor condition. She leaves him in a room and looks into his complicated case, which he has not been able to solve. The next morning, Sherlock is stressed about his investigation, while Enola says she is working on the matchbox factory case. Sherlock tells her not to try to prove herself as a detective, which angers Enola, and she leaves. Later, Enola sits alone, feeling upset when she meets Tewkesbury. Tewkesbury says he wanted to see her again, and offers help if she needs it. His words help Enola understand the poem from Sarah's lover's letter, revealing an address. Excited, she immediately goes there and finds the house door open. Upon entering the house, Enola finds May dead. From May's pocket, she discovers a piece of paper with a musical tune written on it. Soon after, Officer Lestrade arrives and is shocked to see her. Enola explains that she is there because of a case involving a girl named Sarah. Police Superintendent Grail also arrives. Lestrade becomes suspicious, and Grail quickly reveals that he is also searching for Sarah, who is accused of theft. Seeing Enola near May's body, Grail immediately blames her for the murder and orders a search of her. Enola realizes she is in danger and escapes. Lestrade arrives at Sherlock looking for Enola. Impressed by Sherlock's work, he reveals that his superior wants to speak with Enola. After Sherlock discusses his case, he quickly sends Lestrade away. Enola suddenly appears while Sherlock is studying his case and reveals she has been accused of murder. Sherlock explains his own case. Someone is stealing large amounts of money from the government and major companies, moving it through 27 different banks, with no clear link between them. The thief is highly intelligent and seems to be directly challenging him. The only clue is a document stolen during the first theft by someone wearing a worker's cap, and Sherlock admits he still cannot connect the pieces. Enola then explains her case, including Sarah's disappearance, her lover's letters, the matchbox factory thefts, and May's death, suspecting Sarah's lover is involved. Sherlock takes over and tells her to stay home. Later, Enola reads the newspaper about the matchbox factory, the Paragon Club, and a ball hosted by William, which leads her to suspect him, so she decides to attend the ball. Meanwhile, Sherlock investigates May's death scene and finds a worker's cap. He realizes the man from his first bank theft must be connected. He also notices that the matchbox factory is located between all the banks, suggesting it is the key link between them. That night, Enola arrives at the ball. McIntyre discusses Henry and how they have made huge profits in 2 years by switching from red phosphorus matches to safer white ones. Enola listens carefully. She also sees William flirting with a girl named Cicely. At the same time, Sherlock studies strange marks linking all the banks. He connects them to patterns from a book called 27 Dances. From the account numbers across the 27 banks, he receives a hidden message identifying the thief as Moriarty. Back at the ball, Enola meets with Tewkesbury and asks him to teach her how to dance. After a quick dance lesson, Enola steals William's dance notebook while speaking with him. From his notes, she confirms that William was Sarah's lover and wrote letters to her. Later, Enola dances with William and, during the dance, asks him about Sarah. He tells her to keep it secret and meet him in the library at midnight. At midnight, Enola arrives, but Tewkesbury suddenly appears, and William arrives with Lestrade. Lestrade arrests Enola for May's murder. In jail, Enola is questioned by Grail, who asks about William and Tewkesbury and Sarah's location. Enola stays silent, but notices Grail's expensive clothes, which seem too rich for a police officer. She realizes he is working for someone powerful. Grail says he will find Sarah through Bess and leaves. Outside, Grail meets Sherlock and tells him Enola will be hanged for murder. Sherlock explains that he visited May's house and found evidence that 3 people fought her, and one of them injured Grail's guard, whose marks he can prove. This shows Enola is not the killer. However, Grail claims Enola's fingerprints were found on the knife. Sherlock looks at him coldly and leaves in anger, then goes directly to meet Edith and explains that Enola is in jail. After 3 days, Enola is being transported to prison when a large explosion suddenly occurs. In the chaos, Edith arrives and helps free her. Enola gets into a carriage and meets her mother, Eudora, and the 3 of them escape together. During the escape, Enola tells Eudora about Sarah, the missing girls, and the typhus cases at the Matchbox factory. Edith explains that Sarah must have stolen something very important, which is why Grail is chasing both her and Enola. She says Sarah will likely be found through this case. They travel into a forest, where Eudora and Edith tell Enola to continue alone while they distract the police. Enola agrees and leaves. She later finds Bess and asks her to come with her. Bess says no one cares about them anymore, and another girl has died from typhus. Enola then studies Sarah's plants and notices something strange. One plant grows in red soil and is healthy, while another in white soil is dying. Bess explains that for 2 years, the factory has been making white phosphorus matches instead of red ones, and this is what is killing the girls, not typhus. Enola realizes Sarah and May were trying to uncover this truth. Enola goes to Tewkesbury to explain everything. She apologizes and tells him that the girls are dying because of phosphorus in the factory. At that moment, Cicely arrives asking for help with Viscount's political work. He quickly sends her away. Tewkesbury then says he wants to change the factory rules. Enola realizes Cicely is actually Sarah after remembering her connection with William. Tewkesbury asks for an explanation, and Enola explains that William invited him to the ball, and that William, Sarah, and May discovered the truth about the phosphorus and stole important documents to expose it, planning to use Tewkesbury's influence to shut down the factory. Enola and Tewkesbury go to the Matchbox factory, where Enola goes inside alone while Tewkesbury waits outside. She senses someone, fights them, and discovers it is Sherlock. Sherlock explains their cases are connected. Grail used phosphorus to copy Enola's fingerprints and frame her, but now he trusts her. They go upstairs and find William dead, killed first with a weapon belonging to Grail's guard, confirming Grail's involvement, though Sherlock suspects someone even more powerful is behind him. Enola explains that Sarah stole documents proving Henry and McIntyre's profits while girls were dying from phosphorus, and that William wanted to expose it. Tewkesbury arrives, shocked by William's death. Enola finds musical notation in William's hands and combines it with another piece, revealing the words, "Growth of God." Tewkesbury explains it refers to theater balcony seating, and Enola realizes the Paragon Club is connected, with the music acting as a seating map. On the way, Tewkesbury confesses his feelings for Enola, and she kisses him. At the Paragon Theater, Enola finds hidden papers behind the seats. Sarah is there, and Enola explains that the documents contain proof of contracts, names, and the dying girls. Sarah had stolen them from the office. Sarah praises Enola, and Tewkesbury says he will reveal the truth publicly. Sherlock informs Sarah that William is dead, and she becomes devastated. Suddenly, Grail appears holding Bess and demands the papers. Enola moves to hand them over, but Bess bites Grail and escapes. Grail then chases Enola. A fight breaks out between Sherlock, Tewkesbury, and Grail's guards. Enola tries to escape but is injured by Grail. Grail comes close to Enola and takes the paper. Enola quickly reacts, jumping down and using a hook to trap Grail, making him fall. By this time, Tewkesbury and Sherlock have already defeated the guards. Sarah then manages to take the paper back from Grail. At that moment, Henry and Mira arrive, called by Sherlock, and the blame is placed on Grail, who is arrested and taken away. Henry then takes the documents and wrongly accuses Sarah of stealing money and papers from the factory. Sherlock disagrees, saying the real thief is someone extremely intelligent who has always been close to them, Mira. Mira admits she has been stealing the money all along and explains she hired Grail because William had taken the factory documents. Sherlock then reveals that Mira is Moriarty. Mira praises his deduction, while Henry is shocked. She says she was never respected and was seen as weak just because she is a woman, despite being smarter than all of them. Lestrade arrests her and takes her away. Henry burns the factory documents. Sarah is devastated and blames him for the girls' deaths, but Henry denies it and leaves, saying there is no proof. The next day, Sarah, Bess, and Enola return to the factory. Enola captures the guard, while Sarah speaks to all the girls about the truth of phosphorus and how they are being ignored for profit. She encourages them to leave work and stand together. The girls agree and prepare to leave the factory. Enola and Sarah are happy, and secretly Eudora and Edith watch with pride. Some days later, Enola opens a new office inside Edith's shop. Sherlock tells her that Tewkesbury managed to have Henry and McIntyre punished, and Mira escaped. Sherlock offers Enola a partnership, but she refuses, saying she would lose her independence. Sherlock accepts her decision. Tewkesbury arrives, and Enola leaves with him. Outside, Tewkesbury and Enola walk together. He invites her to a ball, but she refuses. The movie ends with a man arriving at Sherlock's house, saying Enola sent him because Sherlock needs a flatmate. Sherlock agrees, and the man introduces himself as Dr. John Watson. They begin living together, setting up their partnership. If you want more recaps like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what series or movie you want to see next.